Hello and welcome back. You can see the logo, you read the title, you can see the logo on the back of my shirt, you can see Carnage on the screen. We're going to be reviewing Venom 2. Let's get right into it. So, the first time I saw the movie, I'm going to go right in. I was actually really disappointed the first time I saw it, and I saw it in 3D, sitting there in the theater, trying to watch the movie, and the entire time I was thinking to myself, man, scenes are just so dark. Even with the 3D, like the 3D glasses on, I couldn't see much of anything, even when stuff was popping at me. The movie was just too lighting wise dark. And that was like a huge deterrent for me liking the movie. But that aside, I watched it again recently before I went to watch Venom 3 because I needed to fill myself in on all the gaps and whatnot. And while I was sitting at home watching it with my girlfriend, I found it actually much more enjoyable for a multitude of reasons. One of them being that I could sit there and actually analyze the movie, pause it, talk about it with my girl, instead of, having to sit there and hold all my thoughts until the end of the movie. But besides that, I actually got to see so much more. I felt like it was a better experience just watching it on a 4K screen, and that's my main critique is it's best watched at home. This is one of the only movies I have ever watched before that is best watched at home. So we got the first thing out of the way. Now, let me get the second thing out of the way that I actually thought of while I was just looking at the plot. It's been over a week since the last time I seen either Let There Be Carnage or The Last Dance because I watched this before I went to go see the movie. I also watched Venom 1 before that because I knew I was going to go see the new one soon, so I wanted to get all caught up on the information. Um, I have to say, while I was reading about Cletus Cassidy, I just have to say I love that they chose Woody fucking Harrelson for the role. They could have picked anybody, and they chose Woody Harrelson. I already love seeing him from Zombieland and Zombieland 2. I do believe he's in other films as well, but I just know him best for Zombieland. Love the guy. Now, I will admit, I almost think that there may have been somebody out there that they could have chosen in his place, but I also disagree with myself at the same time. I don't think there's anybody that I can't name anybody that would have been better. So Cletus Cassidy and Woody Harrelson hand in hand, that was great. I want to talk about how Cletus got his powers in the movie. I thought it was really neat that in the midst of all of Eddie's investigating that's going on, trying to learn about Cletus, gets into this argument with the dude and gets bitten. Good old chomp right on the hand because he was stupid enough to get close to the bars. I think he gets him right on the wrist or some shit like a fucking zombie. And he gets Carnage out of it because Venom goes and releases him and leaves a little bit of himself behind. Now, I don't think they explained it very well because anybody who actually knows the character pretty well knows that Venom did spawn Carnage. Carnage came from Venom. Everybody that knows about the symbiotes knows that, but I don't think it was a very good explanation for people who aren't comic savvy. But it was good for the story itself. I think it was very it was like it looked good. It was very well animated. They didn't fuck that up. I think Cletus's reaction was very well written too. I don't know who wrote his dialogue, but I thought his reaction was really good. He played it out. Woody Harrison played it out really well. He's all, "I've tasted human blood before, and that ain't it. What you got?" Whatever he says, he's like, "I don't know what you got, but it ain't right." It was just he just starts tweaking out. I that actually reinforces even what I said before. I take back what I said. There was absolutely nobody that they should have chosen in Woody Harrelson's place. He doesn't look quite like Cletus, but he plays Cletus so well, so freaking well. I thought it was nice that they utilized I think her name is Banshee. Let me check right here. Frances Barrison is I'm pretty sure Banshee. I don't know if they called her something else, but the chick with the sonic scream, I thought that they utilized her really well, making sure to bring a sonic superpowered. character. I was gonna call her a hero, but she's not a hero. She's definitely not much of a villain either, though. I would say she's just somebody trying to get by, trying to survive. She actually no, that's not true. She's actually a fucking psychotic killer. She's absolutely a villain. Anyways, I thought they utilized her really well, like in the scene where she screams for the first time as they're escaping Ravencroft, and Carnage is like, "If she does that again, I'll rip her face off," or whatever. I think he said "eat her face." I think he threatened to eat her face. Um, and Cletus was just like, "Yo, bro, chill. That's my girl. Like, we're both cool on like chopping people up and eating them and all, but that's my girl, drawing the line there." Like he's gonna do something about it, which he actually did try later in the movie. I thought that was pretty pretty fucking funny. He's fighting with Carnage because they're not symbiotic, which is canon to the comics. Love that. So I had to stop recording for a second there and just, wet my throat. And when I went to grab a drink to do so, I remembered that I had brought down my mini Groot here. He usually spends his time up on the shelf right here. But I brought him down so you guys could all say hi to him while I was doing this Venom 2 review. I do have the parts to turn him fully Venomized, but I don't have the instructions because those are on an app or some stupid shit like that. So maybe I'll do that for the Venom 1 review. Anyways, I got a little ahead of myself when I was talking earlier about the fight that Carnage and Woody. I keep trying to say Woody Harrelson instead of Cletus Cassidy. And Cletus have Venom and Eddie actually have one as well. And I think it's actually my favorite scene in the entire movie because Venom absolutely freaks out like a cheated on girlfriend and starts throwing things out of the apartment. Get out! I want you out! Freaking out. And Eddie's like, "It's my apartment. What are you talking about? What do you mean? You're in my body." And I do believe, yeah, they wind up separating. Venom goes off, hopping body to body, goes to a rave. Like the entire scene is just, it's perfect comedy in its own way. Like it's perfect Venom comedy. I think it's hands down one of the best scenes. I don't think I hope I don't say anything to contradict that. I have another nitpick that I want to bring up real quick before I go on to another part of the movie that I like. There was something that I noticed while watching the movie over again before I gone to see the third movie. I noticed that Carnage had the ability to consume things and get stronger and bigger when he did so, especially when he partially consumed a piece of Venom. He got was ginormous. Now, Venom is also able to expand his size beyond just the normal expanses of his little glob. We've seen him do it in Spider-Man 3, and we've seen him do it in Venom 3. Uh, and I do believe he does it a little bit in Venom 2. But Carnage just goes crazy with it. He becomes like the size of a house at one fucking point. And I just never really understood why Venom doesn't have the same ability to consume and get stronger. I thought that was a really weird plot armor, like anti-plot armor for him to like keep him weaker. I mean, especially because I know he wouldn't have gotten any stronger after the first movie technically because he didn't eat Riot, he blew him up. So there's no opportunity for that there. But he does eat Carnage at the end, and he's eaten a few criminals by before this point. He's eaten some brains. I know those just keep him alive. Those don't make him stronger, so there's logic for that. But I just don't understand why Carnage has that ability and the father figure that he came from. Excuse me, while I pull up my pants again. Why he doesn't have that shared ability, especially because it's not like this version of Venom came from Spider-Man or anything. So there's no reason for him to have limited abilities other than write a decision. I already found a contradiction to myself. I know I said it like a few minutes ago that I was hoping I wasn't going to contradict myself, but I found one already. My favorite part in the movie is actually getting to see She-Venom again. Dude, I love She-Venom. I really do. I loved her first appearance in the first movie. They did that so well. It was shocking. It was oddly just a little bit sexual, but like for comic nerds like myself that grew up having crushes on Jennifer Lawrence's fucking Mystique appearance back in the first X-Men movie that she popped up in, like I don't think anybody can blame me for that. So with this being almost the end of the video, with the last 4 minutes being left, I just want to talk about the ending of the movie. I would definitely say with 100% of certainty that I like the ending of this one a lot more than the ending of Venom 3, but not more than the ending of Venom 1, because the Venom 2 ending is just it's a mess because we get the scene of Venom recognizing Spider-Man when he gets, universe hopped or whatever, and it opens into that scene at the bar. Then we get brought into that same scene at the beginning of Venom 3, and it goes nowhere after that. They get yanked out of the universe and it just gets dropped. They don't talk about it anymore because they go into Venom 3 and they're still fugitives like they are at the end of Venom 2 because of the death of Detective Mulligan and the Cassidy and the Banshee. I believe that they were also fugitivized. I don't think that's a real word. Made fugitives for those two's deaths as well. I know it was certainly for the death of Mulligan. That's something else. Mulligan. They didn't properly address Mulligan's little blue eye situation. By the end, this is actually more of a Venom 3 critique, but they didn't really go anywhere with that in Venom 3. They gave him a symbiote, but it wasn't anything lined up with the blue eyes. It was a confusing ending for Venom 2 that just didn't work. So that's a thumbs down too. But I would say overall, it was definitely a really good movie. Like on my second watch, I wound up enjoying it a hell of a lot more than I did on the first time around, which sucks because I wanted it to be great being in 3D and all, but I guess 3D doesn't exactly make a movie sometimes. Had to learn the hard way eventually. But I would say I'd rate Venom 2 like an 8 out of 10. It was definitely better than Venom 3 for the most part. For the most part. But with all that being said, I think I'm going to call this here. If you watched to the end, thank you so very much. I love you, cosmonauts. You guys are the greatest. Peace out.